not all love is acceptable.
Mhm.
So, like, we can go to the same Bible, we can see about the forbidden fruit.
You're watching the Spotlight Network. Starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
trying to get to
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford. Streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're delighted to welcome to our show a wonderful guest, a wonderful writer. Her name is LeeRose Williams. She is a multidisciplinary artist and debut novelist whose work fuses literary depth with cinematic rhythm through her signature style. Her debut trilogy, La Pola, is an illicit psychological exploration of forbidden desire, fractured loyalty, and the dangerous emotions that surface when restraint collapses. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Sweet Spire Literature Management for helping us put her on TV today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. LeeRose, thank you so much for joining me here today.
No, thank you very much for the invitation. This is a great honor to be here.
It's a great honor to have you on the show. You've done great work on this book. Let's start with the title. Why is it called La Pola? What does that name mean, and why was it essential to the story?
Well, La Pola is not just a name, it's a symbol. It resembles an historic figure that we had back in Colombia. She is one of the reasons we owe, our freedom and independence. So
Gotcha.
in La Pola, she resembles her strength, her spirit. So that's why I wanted to use it in honor to her.
Wonderful. Well, it's a great honor. It's a great title, and it's intriguing. So is the subtitle, The 9 Lives of Love. What do those 9 lives represent, either emotionally or psychologically?
Well, they are symbolic. They are not really literal because we are using it's the cat, the 9 lives of the cat, that
Yeah.
even when it falls, is supposed to be wounded, to be killed, but even though it's able to land on its feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I use it as a metaphor, like women, that we can endure so much more, like reborn, after a crisis in life, you are resilient. And so that's what it resembles here with La Pola. It's about that. It's about strength, the courage, like to continue on and on until death, it claims its prize.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. You described the book as illicit. What makes these fantasies forbidden, and why was it important to not sanitize them?
Well, I could tell that La Pola talk about uncomfortable truths, that not all love is acceptable.
Mhm.
So like we can go to the same Bible, we can see about the forbidden fruit. We can see when it says, like not to desire you know, what belongs to others.
Mhm.
So here La Pola talks about a very big conflict, that no no all love is acceptable. Um is because it's not about being vulgar, but
Mhm.
that there are restrictions, moral restrictions, that they are there, for a reason to exist.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. For viewers discovering La Pola for the first time, how would you describe the story without giving too much away?
Um, well, La Pola we can tell it's not like a linear story. It's more like a psychological, emotional journey. You know, again, it explores, what happened, when love, enters in conflict with honor and duty. So this story talks about a love triangle
Mhm.
in the middle of a very important international mission.
Mhm.
So, but the core of it is about friendship, about how much you are able to sacrifice in the name of
Yeah,
love, to choose friendship.
yeah.
And it's about two men, that they are more than brothers, like a father and son who swore never to enter in conflict, to fight for a woman
Mm.
until she arrives. Everything now is, it becomes a big problem between them. And so at the end is the question, uh, what are we going to do to continue being faithful to duty or to be faithful to your heart, even if that means to harm the ones that we love? So that's why, the story enters in this, enormous conflict, between
Yeah.
the characters.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful. It's very, very effective. Loyalty is central to the novel.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that aspect of the book.
Well, I think it's the most beautiful thing, that I have in the book described, because we can see stories that they talk about love, a man and a woman is always like the same story, let's say like the same cliche. But
Hmm.
here, one of the things that I love the most is about the brotherhood, among these men.
Hmm.
They're all military guys, here, from every division, section, sectors, government, politics. And even they're so strong, at the end of the day, they are just humans that are
Hmm.
vulnerable, and how they kept their faith,
Hmm.
um, in that in that um, in that affection,
Yeah.
and so that's why this is, you know very deep in that aspect of loyalty, because it's about taking the care of them, physically, but also mentally, emotionally,
Hmm.
what to do, in order to maintain that pure friendship that they have, that brotherhood,
Hmm.
and it's one of the things, that I love the most about La Pola, is that it's not just about, like talking to empower women,
Hmm.
but that we can be, among men, strong men, and to do things that they do, but at the same time is, to show that sensible part of men,
Hmm.
they can be also humans, they can be vulnerable, they can cry, and all of this combined bring us back to that loyalty and friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You've created a unique format that you call cinema narrativa. What
Yeah.
does that mean and how does it change the reader's experience?
Well, um, so first of all, let me tell you that I had no clue what I was doing. I just know that, I remember I stopped watching TV, no movies, no reading, nothing for an entire year.
Hmm.
What I used to tell is that, like, I don't want to see anything because I feel that it will infect, the virgin idea that I had about the story. When I sat down to write it, I knew it because I have two uncles. I'm sorry,
Sure,
who they give me 1 second.
sure.
That writers back in Colombia, and so they were the ones who told me, Rose, this sounds like a novel, but it's not a novel. It sounds more like a movie script. but it's not a movie script. So you have to make up your mind,
Right.
that's what they told me, because this doesn't get into the structures, of the narrative. And I cried like for 2 hours because I was like, oh my God, I had nothing, 2 years, like of nothing and all this story. But I discovered later on, that what I did was to create a whole new thing, like imagine me as a filmmaker,
Hmm.
but instead of using cameras, I'm using paper. I'm
Yeah.
using words to describe everything that is going on at the very moment. So it's interesting because you, as the reader, you are not going to know what you are doing, what's happening. You don't know anything about the future. You don't have any backup of the story. You know exactly what the character knows.
Hmm.
So I don't give you any hint, so you will not get ahead of them. So I misled, your thinking. I'm taking you where I want to put that focus of the camera and just see what is in front of you.
Yeah.
The entire story, it comes in your mind like a film. You're going like to being seeing the screen of
Mm.
the movie. So
Yeah, it's
that's
great. It's a very visual, very effective
yes.
way of writing and getting the reader actually entrenched into the story. Pola doesn't guide readers, doesn't take them by the hand. It asks them to observe and even doubt. Why was that discomfort important to you?
What you mean to take the readers to that point?
Hmm.
Um, because I think it's the fact that when so like I have done work, as an extra, in some productions.
Hmm.
And I have observed, how the director is, working behind the camera. So I wanted that, I pull the reader right there, into the action of the things. I don't,
Hmm.
I'm not telling them what to feel, how to feel. I make them to feel exactly what the characters are feeling. Like um, it's a lot of. It's like if you are the the cameraman, and you can
Hmm.
go close to that emotion. So that's what I want, that the readers can feel the emotion, the same emotion as the characters do.
Amazing. Let me ask you this. When readers are done with the book, when they close that last page, what feeling or what question do you hope stays with them?
What's coming next?
Yeah.
Because this is just the first one of 3 books that I have. I wrote this meant to be a TV series.
Hmm.
So so that's what I want them, like to be hoping, okay, so what's going to happen? So who is La Pola? Yeah, so they want to desire the next part of the story, definitely. And that they can feel themselves, like in a way resemble in the story, because you know morally, intellectually, um we have so many questions,
Hmm.
and so I can see, that La Pola brings a lot of answers, maybe, and it confronts you, with
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to book one we have, book two, book three are forthcoming. Looking forward to those. It is a terrific trilogy. It is called La Pola. It is an illicit psychological exploration of forbidden desire, fractured loyalty, and the dangerous emotions that surface when restraint collapses. Set in the high-stakes world of executive protection, the novel asks a haunting question. What happens when the greatest threat is not external, but internal? You're going to have to
Yeah,
read the book to find out.
yeah,
LeeRose, thank you so
definitely.
much for joining me here today.
Thank you for your time, and well, I hope everybody loves La Pola, and let's see what happens.
We will see what happens. I hope they love it too. I know they'll love it. So pick up the book. The links are below this interview. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.